I'm here with my man, Brendan Clemente. He opened up Everwild Festival 2025, and he started everything off with a bang. What does it mean to be invited out to this festival and be doing what you're doing?
For me, it feels really full circle. Because I met the Trop guys, I think like 10 years ago in my journey, before I even really started making music. And I saw them in my little town of Ocean Beach, California at that point. And I was like, if these guys stick together, they are going to go places. And here we are 10 years or so later, and they have their own festival, which is one of the best music festivals as an artist and fan I've ever been to. The vibe here is perfect. The size is perfect. It's all my favorite bands. So to get the honor of like being invited to open it up, it's like difficult to put my gratitude into words, because I really love and appreciate and respect everything they do so much, and to even be able to be a part of it is just like big for me. It's huge for me, really.
Well said, man. You've kind of been doing some big things recently. You had the recent album drop. You worked with Johnny Cosmic on it. What's going on in your recent world, and including what's going on with the album, and what your plans are with the next step there?
The album dropped earlier this year on Ineffable Records, which I owe Johnny. I'd give that dude my life, man. He has made so many of my musical aspirations come true. And not only that, but he's not just this guy that produces me and liked a song, so he helped. He took me under his wing on the first tour. We had so many funny. I toured with him and K-Bong on a run, I think 4 years ago now, and he would do stuff like he'd show me how to organize my cables so I could get on and off the stage faster, and he helped me with my sound checks, because I wasn't that experienced on stage, and he pushed me off a lot of cliffs. He actually is the one who initiated the album. I'd done a couple songs with him, and he called me one day and said, "Hey, let's do an album." And I was like, "Oh, that's the greatest thing ever, but I don't have enough songs." And he said, "Well, you'll write them." He's like, "You got it in you. I know you do." He's like, "And I'll be there every step of the way, so you don't have to worry about anything." And I mean, for someone in his place to do that for me, it kind of still blows my mind that he put himself out there like that. And he's just become more than a mentor, like a friend, and just someone who is constantly pushed me to where he apparently knew I could go, and I was still kind of skeptical of it. So yeah, I guess that this is a long answer to the question, but yeah, and I mean, for everything else, I'm a big fan of knowing your direction and having a vision and stuff. And my vision, I've known a lot of awesome bands that tour 9 months a year and stuff, and it's for sure not right now a thing that I want to do. Being on the road is kind of brutal. And I'm not an authority to talk about it, but I've been out for almost a month-long run, and it was really difficult. And I didn't like being away from my family, but I love writing songs. I love my home studio, and I'm gonna keep releasing songs. I'm already working on album 2, getting that ready to go. I want to record it this winter. Songs flow out of me. But it's not my goal to be on the road all the time, so I would love to keep just building my music online and getting it to as many people as possible, and then getting out on the road a week or two a year, and playing cool festivals and stuff. And I hold down a full-time day job and stuff so I can support my family, and I love that balance, and I have the vision of where I want to go, and I believe in that so much that I'm not worried about rushing or anything. I'm just kind of doing it and letting it play out, and it feels really good and right to me. So and everyone has their own journey. Yeah, every band has a different journey. So that's mine, and that's where I want to go.
That was a good answer, and there was a lot of parts. Well, you actually were covering some of the things that I was thinking about asking. You covered some of the advice that you got, which is good, and just taking an approach that's slow and steady but consistent is probably something that you'll continue to see that growth. So yeah, a lot of good info in that answer, man, for real. What's one of your pet peeves, man? What's something that really pisses you off?
Pet peeve? That's a good question.
He doesn't have any. He's too chill.
Yeah, I mean, there's I mean, it was a stupid like stock answer, but I mean, really, like not too much gets on my nerves because I don't find it worth like wasting time feeling bad about much. So I guess my pet peeve would be like people who like hate on artists that are just because they don't happen to like what they're doing, or to discourage them, because I had some funny discouragement earlier on in my before I had a music career or whatever you want to call it. I had some like, friendly discouragement from, friends, which is funny. Like we rip on each other. I'm from the Northeast, so it's like term of endearment almost to make fun of each other. But
you didn't listen to him. You said,
didn't listen to that.
You're not going to talk me out of this.
Exactly. And the friendly ones didn't get, but like there were some that were not friendly. They weren't really friends. They were just like people who were like, hey man, like never try and sing. You should not sing because you don't have a good voice. And I believed that. I was like, oh, like that, they're right. Like I must not have a good voice. I probably didn't sing much for 10 years because of that.
Now, are these people that you know in personal, like you actually know them, or are this like online activities?
No, these are like personal ones. And honestly, they didn't even, I post about it sometimes, like people get riled up. I'm like, oh, this old college roommate of mine, said something like that to me. But it wasn't like a malicious thing, even when I hold no angst or grudge against them. Like I would, if I saw them today, I'd hug them and be like, like I got you, I'm doing it. But like, it wasn't like that. But I didn't realize that it did actually affect and kind of hold me back from trying for a long time, because I just assumed that he was right.
Yeah, I guess that's where it's like important for people to think about what they say to somebody, because you could really alter or enhance somebody's life in good or bad ways, depending on what you say. Like so that's why the positivity and encouragement is really important. I mean, not everybody does that, As far as online trolls, if you ever get an online troll, remember I do the hater hunter, something I've started up, and I'm all about it. So if I see some goofy comments and people are talking trash on your music, send it my way, and I'll give them a little run for their money.
I appreciate that. I'm also like, and it is again like probably too positive or whatever, but like I don't even like, if someone's taking their time to do that, I imagine they're probably not in the greatest headspace. I feel not kind of bad for them,
I do, and that's why when I approach the hater hunter, it's not like I'm trying to tear them down or put them on blast to where people start sending them hate mail, and I usually block out the usernames, but I just kind of want to poke fun at it. Like, look, they went out of their way to do this, but like, maybe they could rethink their approach, and maybe it's they got their own issues that they haven't solved yet. I'm checking out now. Do you have any tattoos?
No, I don't. No, I don't know. That's actually a good question. I don't think I've ever really thought about this. I think I've been conditioned to the impermanence of like everything, and that includes my musical taste, anything going on. I kind of flow with that, and it's always just. It's not that I never I care about things in these huge, just like I vastly care about some things, but I don't, the thought of making them permanent in something on my body just hasn't fully resonated with me for whatever reason. But I love tattoos. I love seeing them on people. I love, the inspirations for them, but for some reason it was just never my thing.
Well, like you said, and you think your thoughts and whatnot change over time, you might get a regrettable tattoo. People do it all the time, or they got it by somebody who didn't do justice to what they wanted, So, but a lot of tattoos around here, and I curious on some of the stories, like if you have a bad one or something, But why don't you go get a bad tattoo so we can talk about it on the next episode,
We'll get one for next time.
No, don't do that, please. But if you're thinking about it, there's a tattoo bus being offered.
I saw that. Oh,
I know people that have been tattooed there. They've been at some other festivals we've been at. So
nice.
But yeah. All right, man. Well, this has been good talking with you, kind of getting to know a little bit about what's going on in your mind, man. Is there any last words you want to leave for your fans, the people that are either been along for the ride for a while, or people just getting to know you now?
Just gratitude. It's crazy. Music to me was largely something to convey my feelings in a way that words couldn't. And I had some experiences in high school where I was really sad about things, whether it be a girl who didn't like me back, or someone making fun of me, or whatever it was. And music, I found songs that just captured the sadness or the emotion that I was feeling. And that was crazy. That was before I played music really. And then once I kind of started finding that I had all these crazy melodies in my head, and as I kept going like further into it, learning guitar and stuff, to realize that I could create something that is going to be a song that some random person somewhere in the world is going to listen to and feel that way about whatever they're going through. To be like part of that cycle is just like crazy. So if you've ever heard my songs, if they're part of a soundtrack of your life, or just a song that came on and you thought it was kind of cool, or even if you didn't like it, honestly, it's crazy that there are people out there listening to my music in general. So I don't take that for granted, and I appreciate every second of it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's got to be a good feeling, man, for sure. Well, Brendan, thank you for your time, man. Keep doing your thing.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me. We finally made this happen. This is
yeah,
like
we
5
talked about
years
doing this
in
for a
the
little bit. It can't be 5 years because I've only been doing this for 2. But, you
Okay,
know, like
okay.
time really kind of,
Okay.
you know, like I have a hard
Seems
grasp
like you've
on
been
it.
doing it longer.
It feels like it sometimes, but then again not. But yeah, I really appreciate it. Congratulations and props to you for opening up this awesome festival. Highly recommended. Brendan Clemente. Check him out. Peace.